you may not always see it coming. A few heavy rains, a tropical storm that shifts direction, a sudden rise in the water table, and before long, the streets start to fill, the ground softens, and flood season begins. For most people, it's an inconvenience. For older adults, though, floods pose a more serious risk, and not just because of physical hazards like slippery walkways or blocked roads. The real concern often hides in the days that follow, when clean water is scarce, food supplies change, and the body is pushed into quiet survival mode. If you're over 60, you need to know what these seasonal shifts do to your heart, your joints, your digestion, and your immune system. And more importantly, you need to know how to protect yourself, not with fear, but with awareness and calm, steady action. You see, as we age, our body's ability to regulate temperature, hydration, blood sugar, and circulation all become a little more delicate. That doesn't mean you're fragile. It just means your system works harder to stay balanced. And when a flood disrupts daily life, even for a short while, your routines around sleep, food, medicine, and movement can be thrown off course. Have you ever felt especially tired or foggy after a stormy week? Or noticed that your legs swell more when you can't move around as much? Maybe your stomach felt uneasy, or your medications didn't seem to work the same. These are not just passing annoyances, they're signals. They're your body's way of saying, I need help adjusting. And the sooner you hear that message, the easier it is to act on it. One of the first and most overlooked risks during flood season is dehydration. It sounds simple, but in older adults, it can quickly become dangerous. When the weather turns wet and the temperature drops slightly, we often forget to drink water. You don't feel as thirsty, and you might cut back on fluids to avoid frequent trips to the bathroom, especially if mobility becomes harder in a wet home or shelter. But even mild dehydration thickens your blood, stresses your kidneys, and raises your risk of urinary tract infections, constipation, and confusion. Seniors who are already taking medications for blood pressure or heart disease are particularly vulnerable because many of those pills are diuretics. They cause the body to release fluid. Combine that with a drop in water intake, and the danger quietly grows. So here's your first lifeline. Sip water consistently throughout the day, even if you're not thirsty. Add a pinch of sea salt or a few drops of lemon to help your body absorb it better. If clean drinking water becomes hard to find during a flood, keep a few bottles of electrolyte solution or oral rehydration salts on hand. These are easy to store and can stabilize your body within minutes. One clinical study from Johns Hopkins found that seniors who maintained proper hydration during weather-related emergencies had a 43% lower rate of hospital visits due to confusion, fatigue, and electrolyte imbalances. That's not just a statistic, that's peace of mind in a bottle. Another quiet danger comes from disrupted food routines. During a flood, your refrigerator may go out, grocery stores may be closed, or supply chains may slow. You might rely more on canned goods, packaged snacks, or shelf-stable meals. There's nothing wrong with convenience in a crisis. But many of these foods are high in sodium, sugar, or preservatives, all of which can harm a senior's body when eaten in excess. If you've ever felt your ankles swell or your blood sugar spike after a few days of convenience meals, this is why. Your body thrives on balance, not overload. The key is preparation. Keep a small stash of flood season friendly foods that actually support your health. Unsalted nuts, dried lentils, whole oats, canned beans with no added salt, and powdered bone broth are all shelf-stable and easy on the body. These foods provide protein, fiber, and minerals without overloading your kidneys or spiking your glucose. If you have room in your freezer, prepare a few small meals in advance: soups, stews, or rice dishes that can be quickly thawed and eaten if cooking becomes difficult. And always check labels. Look for low sodium, low sugar options, and avoid artificial additives like monosodium glutamate, which can raise blood pressure and cause headaches in sensitive individuals. Let's talk now about infection risk. After a flood, bacteria and mold can spread quickly in water-damaged areas. Seniors, especially those with weaker immune systems or lung issues, are more vulnerable. Respiratory infections, skin rashes, and even stomach bugs become more common. And once your body is weakened by one infection, it becomes easier for others to take hold. This is why you must act early. Keep your space dry and ventilated as much as possible. Wear a mask if you need to clean mold or handle damp materials. And most importantly, support your immune system from within. Start each day with a dose of vitamin D3, especially if cloudy weather limits your sun exposure. Take a probiotic or eat fermented foods like sauerkraut, kefir, or plain yogurt to keep your gut defenses strong. Your gut is where 70% of your immune system lives, and during times of stress, it needs extra support. Zinc, elderberry, and garlic are also helpful natural supports. Just be sure to check with your doctor before starting any new supplement, especially if you take medications. One study from the University of Michigan found that seniors who took zinc supplements during natural disasters recovered faster from respiratory infections and had fewer doctor visits compared to those who did not. Now here's something you might not expect. Flood season affects your sleep, and not in a good way. Disrupted routines, anxiety about the weather, background noise from rain, or the unfamiliar conditions of a shelter can all reduce sleep quality. But here's the catch: poor sleep weakens every part of your body. Your immune system, blood sugar regulation, memory, and mood all suffer. And once you fall behind on sleep, your resilience drops. That's when infections take hold. That's when blood pressure spikes. That's when small problems become bigger. So what can you do? Create a sleep signal each night. No matter your situation, that might mean dimming the lights an hour before bed, sipping a warm cup of herbal tea, or listening to calming music or nature sounds. If your home is damp or noisy, use a fan or white noise machine to help your brain tune out disruptions. Magnesium glycinate taken an hour before bed can help relax muscles and improve deep sleep quality again. Speak to your doctor before starting. And try to keep a consistent bedtime, even if your days feel unpredictable. Your body loves rhythm. Give it that anchor, and it will reward you with strength and calm. Next, let's talk about movement, or rather, the lack of it. During flood season, your regular walks may stop. You may feel confined indoors or unsafe stepping outside. That's understandable, but don't stop moving. When seniors stay still for too long, blood flow slows, digestion weakens, and joints stiffen. Even your mood and memory can decline when movement drops. You don't need a gym or even a dry sidewalk. Just stand up every hour. Stretch, raise your heels, and lower them 10 times. Do gentle seated marches. Use your arms to mimic swimming motions, even if you're sitting in a chair. Movement is medicine, especially in times of stress. A 2021 study from the National Institute on Aging found that seniors who maintained just 20 minutes of light activity per day during emergency events had lower markers of inflammation, fewer falls, and better sleep. Lastly, I want to remind you of something simple but powerful. Stay connected. Flood season can feel isolating, especially if you live alone or your neighborhood is affected. But isolation weakens your health faster than almost anything. If you've ever felt your mood drop after a few days without company, it's not in your head. Social contact, phone calls, video chats, even listening to a familiar voice has been shown to reduce stress hormones, lower blood pressure, and even support immune function. Keep a list of 2 or 3 people you can check in with regularly, and don't wait for them to call you. Reach out, share how you're doing, ask how they are. If possible, join a virtual senior group or a faith-based phone circle. Many communities offer these resources during storms. Your voice matters. Your story matters. And staying engaged isn't just about being social, it's about survival. Emotional strength feeds physical strength. The two are deeply connected. So here's the truth. Flood season doesn't just test your home. It tests your health, your habits, and your resilience. But you're not helpless, and you're certainly not alone. With small, smart actions, consistent hydration, thoughtful food choices, immune support, steady sleep, light movement, and meaningful connection, you can protect your health even when the world around you changes. You don't need to do it perfectly. You just need to do it mindfully. Trust your instincts. Listen to your body. Prepare with care and respond with calm. You've lived through many seasons, many storms. This one is no different. You already have the wisdom. Now you have the tools. If this message has helped you feel more prepared, more empowered, or even just more seen, please take a moment to like this video. Subscribe to our channel for more trusted advice designed especially for you. And most importantly, share this with a friend or neighbor who might need a gentle reminder that their health matters too. One voice can make all the difference. Stay dry, stay safe, and above all, stay strong. You've got this.